Hey everyone, and welcome back to episode 445 of Fallout 4. The last episode was story time, and we're getting back to it. So we read Lorenzo's journal from like 1894 about him finding this whole burial site thingamajig hidden somewhere in Arabia, and then we witnessed essentially him going crazy, and then it just sort of ended abruptly. And now we're redamaging Cabot's terminal. And I think this is the one we need to read, right? We read the May one. Yeah. So she doesn't want to go old. She doesn't get old. She wants to keep using the serum. Look at the time skip from 1994 to 2075. Okay, April 15th, 2075. Let's see. Apparently the Robco techs don't even know how their own systems work. I mean, it's just a simple bat file on the root directory of the database for server, for crying out loud. Hardly the hack of a century or anything. That ridiculous little stupid smiley face. She's just so dumb. Anyway, let's see. They got what? They got November 9th, 2076. It's been about another year, a little over. 2076. Things are just going from bad to worse. The things Robert tells me, most people don't even know how bad it is. And here we sit, safe in our little Cabot family bubble of privilege. Oh, don't use that word. Get out of here. Fuck that whole... Never mind. I've tried to talk to Jack about it, but he's in his own world as usual. I doubt he even knows what year it is. And Mother, don't even get me started. Her whole life is in a state of denial. I know this is insane to even think, but maybe this is for the best. You think I could just get a gun or some poison if I really wanted to end it for myself, but I could never be that deliberate. How selfish must I be to think that I need the whole world to end as a way for me to get out of killing myself? This is getting interesting. We're on October 23rd, 2077, so again, it's been like another year. It's happening. I think a bomb must have hit somewhere near. Power is out all over as far as we can see from here. The emergency power is still on in the house, but not for long. Edward and Jack went to try to get to Parsons' priorities. You see, Jack left Anders in charge here. Anders? Who's Anders? We have Edward, but Anders? He seems competent enough, but there's something about the way he's looking since it happened that I don't like. I'd better get back to Mother. Yeah, making sure I don't reread the same ones here because there's so many. November 19th, 2077. Let's see here. I got the power back on again. Things are very bad, but I would never admit this to anyone. But this is the most fun I've had since I can remember. I'm not bored anymore. Maybe this is how most people feel all the time. I can't really remember how I felt before the serum. Oh, and Anders is dead. I killed him. This is why we don't know who Anders is. No one can believe it. 2 days after Jack left, he decided the Cabot house belonged to him, and Mother and I would have to leave. Really, I can't blame him. I mean, it was the end of the world. I'm not sure most employment agreements cover that, but he made the mistake of underestimating me. He didn't know how fast I was or how strong. I would have just made him leave, but he decided to fight. Probably better that way. One less person out there who knows about what we have here. We haven't heard from Jack for a week. He and Edward made it to Parsons at least. Jack radioed when they arrived, tried to be cheerful as usual, put on a happy face for Imogene, but who really knows if they're going to manage? At least Edward is with them. If anyone can get through this, it's Edward. I'm guessing Edward's going to change into a ghoul soon. I'm guessing it's going to be mentioned. I mean, the bombs fell. They're going to Parsons, so I'm guessing that's coming up soon here. So was that the November 19th? Okay, that was on November 19th. No, don't click. We're on December 2nd, 2077. Jack made it back. Finally, he says, Edward is very sick from radiation. Yep, here it is. He left him at Parsons. I don't think he expects him to live. I'm not sure why neither of us is sick. I was out quite a lot now that I think about it. Maybe another one of the many benefits of Jack's magic serum. I'll have to thank Father next time I see him. So we just read the December entry. Yeah, and it was only a month of time. Not even. Okay, so this has been a whole another year here. August 11th, 2089. Holy shit, no, this wasn't a whole year. Look at this. Damn. Time just keeps passing before the next entry. It's really weird. It turns out eventually that even the apocalypse can get boring. Jack and Edward are too good at keeping us safe. It looks like the Cabot family is immune from the end of the world, just like everything else. We just shrug it off and keep on going, just like we always have. Sometimes I'm very pleased about that. It makes me feel incredibly superior. Sometimes it just makes me feel really sad. Really, really sad. Most of the time it's just as boring as hell. Yeah, most of the time it's just boring as hell. That's what I don't know. I feel like you get bored. 7:04:20. Wow, the time skip 21:20. July 4th. Alright, 2120. 4th of July. I've stopped even telling anyone where I'm going. The world isn't as dangerous as Jack says. There are still people out there living their lives like they always have. I guess more of them are willing to kill you now, but that's probably just because they can. I always got the feeling that plenty of people would have liked to see us dead before, they just couldn't get away with it. And then another huge time skip. March 13th, 2251. This last entry. I don't know how Jack keeps himself busy day after day. You think he would realize that it was hopeless by now, after all these years and years. Maybe he's just going through the motions the way I am, or maybe he stopped trying to cure Father. I mean, what happens after to us? I'm the only one that's ever tried to go without the serum. Maybe Jack and Mother think they could just give it up, but I think they're fooling themselves. So that's the end of that. Yep, still over encumbered. My legs are still broken. There's another terminal in like the main room. I have to hack it. I'm hoping that what's-her-face, Wilhelmina, doesn't see me do it. We'll see. Again, I've looted everything. I'm no longer over encumbered. That's a good sign. I always forget. So here's the bathroom. I always forget. So now my legs are going to be a bit broken once I go to this. Like, they're damaged. I know Stimpak heals it. Is it sleeping that also heals it, or is it just like things that would normally heal you? I don't remember. I think I have to sleep. I just want to check. If I keep my cursor there, it stays in the same spot. So I'm not going to move my mouse. I'm pretty sure I have to sleep. Yeah, it's not moving. I was just curious, because that's free health, free water. Might as well top myself off before we go.
Oh, what do you want?
I'm not stealing your things. No. No. Just I'm beating her with a door. It's not a crime because I didn't do it. The door did it. You go in there because you're less likely to catch me doing the bad things I'm about to do. But she wasn't mad at me, so that's a good sign. Can I take these? Yes. Yes. Okay, so we gotta go read the other terminal. And again, this is something I have to hack, but yes, I don't have to get out of my power armor. Okay. Let's crouch. We are hidden. Let's make sure we always stay that way. Now I'm going to assume this is Jack's terminal, and I bet there's a lot to read. Minishin? What is that? Is that a word? Goddamn. Cemetery. Sweet. Well, shit, son. Oh, goddamn. Oh, damn. He doesn't have anywhere near as many entries as her, but I guess that's to be expected with him being as busy as he is. Jack Cabot? Nice 0 instead of an O. Ah, that's probably the thing she's talking about that he fucked up. February 10th, 1968. I think I finally have this new terminal set up correctly. Let's see if this saves. Yes, I can already see that this is going to increase my productivity immensely. Never mind mother's what the hell? Mother's carping about newfangled contraptions. I see that I mistyped my name on the setup screen. I'll have to check the manual for how to fix that. It would get annoying to see that every time I log in. Yeah, it's still there. All this time he hasn't figured it out. 2/12/1968, February 12th. Still learning how to work with this new computer. Searched the menu for an hour last night, but couldn't find out how to reset my name on the login screen. Oh well, hardly worth worrying about right now. I'm sure I'll figure it out eventually. At some point, I'll need to take the time to transcribe all my old paper notes into the system so I can easily access them. But for now, let me summarize my progress so far in understanding Father's condition, so I have a baseline to refer back to here. Oh god, this guy's he may have less entries, but they're going to be more long-winded. 1. All attempts to directly remove the artifact have been unsuccessful so far. Father's blood pressure dropped precipitously. I don't know if I've ever seen that word actually used in a practical sense. Alright. And detectable brainwaves nearly flatline each time. The results were the same with total anesthesia, father unconsciousness, local anesthesia, father consciousness, several types of antipsychotics to do. Fill in the exact list of dosage from my notes. Varying dosages of LSD to do, fill in doses for my notes, so he hasn't like updated the stuff. And it's funny because they also used to use LSD for a lot of things. Didn't they give it like, wasn't it like super early on in the army? Like, didn't they give them LSD? Like they gave them like a pill in like their meals and things that they could take, or like something they could take with them, like because they thought it was good, like, or it was okay in some way. Like it gave you some benefit, but also, you know, I don't know what LSD does. I'm pretty sure like they used to do that. Anyway, This implies that disabling the artifact in some way will be necessary in order to remove it from Father. Question: is the psychotic effect permanent, i.e., will it survive the removal of the artifact, or is the artifact actively and directly inducing it? He did say psychotic, right? So psychotic. Cool. I've been very cautious with directly, physically interacting with the artifact since the fairly early days. My initial attempts to probe or tinker with it were met with a similar physical symptoms in Father to my attempts to remove it. I won't attempt it again until I have much greater understanding of the artifacts and their workings. Active scanning of the artifact itself has proven useless. I currently consider this a dead end. X-rays. So far has proven opaque to all my scans. Obviously, I'm limited to the amount of radiation I can risk subjecting Father to. Radio image. Well, I mean, he's immune to it, isn't he? Radio imaging. Again, the artifact is opaque at all wavelengths. Interesting. Passive scanning has been more promising. This is an area I plan to devote much more time. The artifact radiates across the electromagnetic spectrum and at varying strengths and wavelengths. I have some basic telemetry already built into Father's cells, so I have been collecting data for the past 2 years. So far, it isn't much more than suggestive of my Father's my further avenues of research, but I am quite confident that over time and with more sophisticated sensors, I will be able to gain genuinely useful insight into the way the artifact is controlling my Father. To do, get military contacts from Senator DeSoto. I'll have to see what year again this is. They're likely to have more advanced tech than I can get commercially. Consider making a deal for sample of serum if necessary. The physical symptoms and changes that allow the artifact. I keep combining the next line underneath it. That the artifact is introduced in Father are as follows. Extreme paranoia. Oh my god, this just keeps going. The extreme paranoia, psychotic tendencies. This was obvious from the first. Since no drug has proven effective in mitigating these symptoms, all evidence points to this being directly induced by the artifact. Agelessness. As yet, unidentified modifications to his blood chemistry have prevented any further aging since he first encountered the artifact. In fact, he may be in better physical health than before. It seems likely that the artifact is actively monitoring and correcting any problems it finds with its host organism. Telekinesis, the most surprising ability. I tentatively believe that this is not actual telekinesis, but something generated directly by the mechanisms in the artifact itself, perhaps using manipulation of gravity waves beyond our current technology. Increased physical strength, perhaps a side effect of the artifact's monitoring and improving of its host. This caused some difficulty early on in Father's confinement before I was fully aware of its abilities, or his abilities, but is now merely something to keep aware of. Father's blood chemistry shows various changes from human norms, as well as traces of currently unidentified substances. I've proven that at least some of the symptoms described above can be communicated to another person through the use of blood transfusion. So far, through the pure trial and error, I've been able to produce a serum with several of the beneficial qualities and a few side effects, but my actual understanding of what the serum is doing so far is very limited. I'll continue to pursue that as time allows, but it seems unlikely to be much of use in actually freeing my Father from the artifact. X-rays of Father's brain show no physical intrusion of the artifact. His skull remains intact, and I can see no signs that it has even penetrated his flesh. At this point, I believe that the blood chemistry changes, etc., must be induced by the artifact indirectly. It is instructing Father's cells on how to manufacture these substances. My most successful intervention to date has been the development of the that's a weird word. Abramelian? I'm guessing Abramelian field, maybe. Detailed specs in the files of Parsons. Ooh, maybe we can get that. Earliest crude implementation, 1898, was simply a full spectrum dampening field tuned to the same frequencies given off by the artifact. It didn't interfere with the artifact's operation, but at great cost to Father's health. At the time, I had no choice. He would have been impossible to confine any other way, but refinement of the field has been a priority of the last decades. I've managed to reduce the negative physical effects on Father while more directly blocking the artifact's telekinesis power. So my attempts to broaden the field's interference with the other aspects of the artifact have been unsuccessful. They bring on similar physical symptoms, attempting to physically remove the artifact. But this remains the most promising avenue. Did I say avenue earlier? I think I did. It's fucking avenue. Did I say something stupid? I mean, I'm reading all kinds of weird words, but I'm pretty sure it was avenue earlier. I'm correcting myself. Of research, if I can discover how to interrupt this communication, I believe I will have the key to removing it, or at the very least in mitigating some of the other dangerous symptoms, psychosis, etc. That was the second entry. That was in 1968. Okay. Oh my god. I don't usually do this during a Let's Play, but guys, I'm going to take a sip of water. I'm dying. I am dying here. Alright, so quite a bit of time has passed again. Let's see, July 23rd, 1995. Mother and Imogene have left for another European tour while I take care of the latest generational shift, getting more difficult to make this work in our modern age. Luckily, money still talks. I'll have to find someone reliable to leave in charge of Parsons while I'm gone. Perhaps Anderson could be trusted not to meddle. January 5th, 1996? It's good to be back. John Cabot, long-lost cousin of the Cabots, has returned to claim his inheritance after the freak accident that claimed the lives of Jack and his family. What? As usual, I have to be careful to respond when people address me as John. Interesting. Ah, I see what he's doing. And this beard is going to take some getting used to. But such are the burdens of immortality. Anderson proved loyalty and uninclined to poke his nose into anything, so that's another hurdle passed. I need to try to get as much done as I can while Mother's away. I find I am much more productive than usual during these transitions. September 5th, 2023. I've been experimenting with some of the new transistors, and it looks possible to make a portable version of the Abramelin. I'm guessing it's like Abramelin. Something. Abramelin, maybe? Abramelin field generator. It's a word that I don't think any of us use on a day-to-day basis. This would be much more useful if we ever had to move Lorenzo to a different facility for any reason. A lot more work is necessary, of course, and testing it on Lorenzo is out of the question. I won't risk shutting down the main field, but replicating the current field frequency pattern should at least give us something that we could try in an emergency, even if I can't be 100% certain it'll work. November 22nd, 2058. More time has passed. I've just hired a new fellow to help with the family affairs, Edward Deegan. Comes highly recommended. It's too easy for me to ignore the passage of time now, but I've just realized how old Daniel is getting. It will be time for him to retire in a few years, and it's past time to start grooming his replacement. This is always such a difficult process that I tend to put off, especially as Mother can be so difficult with anyone new. If Edward proves reliable, I can start easing him into the family secrets. Tricky, but necessary. So far, so good. Mother has taken to him, which is an essential first step. April 15th, 2075. I've had Robco out again. It seems like a small thing, but this login screen glitch has been driving me crazy. I assume that it would have been fixed with the upgraded terminals, but you can be sure I was careful to type my name in correctly this time, but no. When it boot up the next time, there it was again. This time they completely wiped the entire system and reinstalled from their master holotapes. Unbelievably, the typo is still there. They've promised to have some of their sharpest engineers look into the problem, but I'm not sure they were being completely serious. If I don't hear from them within a couple weeks, I'll make a few calls. This poor guy. Oh my god, I keep saying the same thing. I need to stop that. October 28th, 2076. It's been another year. It's been a little bit over. Apparently, the political situation has become very dangerous. I don't pay much attention to current events, but Imogene's latest view, I'm guessing, is a high muckety-muck in some government agency, and has been telling her alarming stories about how close things have gotten to a full-scale nuclear war. I wonder if we are following in the footsteps of the ancients who created the artifact. If so, who might our successors be thousands of years from now? Will a cockroach civilization eventually rise to wonder the artifacts we left behind? Oh god. December 1st, 2077. Again, it's been a little bit over a year. It really happened. I don't think I've quite come to terms with what it means for the long run. It's been one crisis after another. We certainly aren't out of the woods yet, but the simple fact that I can write this again means we're better off than most people. I don't have time to write down everything that's happened. Fortunately, Boston was spared a direct hit. My first concern was Parsons, of course. We had to maintain power at all costs. We've had backup generators more than usual, even for a medical facility, but these were intended for short-term outages, not as permanent power supply. Then there was a question of security. Edward proved himself amazingly resourceful. He already had plans in place for just such an emergency. Thank God he paid more attention to the news than I did. Still, there's no real planning for the end of civilization. He and I have been at Parsons for almost a month, trying to keep things from completely falling apart. Edward has been out more than he should. I'm afraid he's taking a heavy dose of radiation, but there was really no choice. I'll do what I can for him now. I don't know how I could replace him now. Imogen has stepped up amazingly. I had no idea she had it in her. The man we left in charge here proved unreliable, apparently cracked under the pressure and tried to evict Imogen and Mother at gunpoint. He didn't reckon on Imogen, and neither did I. She took charge and somehow kept things secure in spite of everything. I'll have to see what Edward can do about a more permanent solution for power and security for the Cabot house, but for the moment, things look much better than they might. I expect even our resources will be tested to the limit over the coming years, but in some ways I'm glad of the challenge. One thing's for sure, the end of the world isn't boring. The end of the world is not boring. June 20th, 2080. Okay, so it's been 3 years. I think I can finally say things are looking up. Edward has recruited a more or less reliable security force to protect Parsons. The power situation is stabilized. Edward assures me now he has spare parts stockpiled to last at least 50 years. Moving between here and Parsons is still the biggest problem. There's just no sign of any return of the law and order. Just the opposite, in fact, but Edward has proven skilled at dealing with the various groups of thugs that have sprung up. Speaking of Edward, his radiation sickness has developed in a most fortunate way. For a time I thought he was surely going to die, but then his condition stabilized, as he now seems actually immune to further radiation. Apparently this is not unknown in other survivors. Although Edward tells me that a strong prejudice has developed amongst these people, hard to understand, as they seem uniquely qualified to survive in this new world. One benefit of the end of civilization that I haven't anticipated. There's no need for us to have to die periodically. I can go back to being Jack Cabot again for the foreseeable future. No more neighbors to poke their noses into our business. Yeah, that is interesting. I knew it, but that's why he was dressing up differently and assuming a different identity and inheritance and all that stuff. Because I mean, say I, as who I am in real life, lived for like 200 years, they'd probably be like, "What? I mean, shouldn't you be dead?" It makes sense. May 7th, 2115. This has been a big time gap. Damn. I've lately immersed myself in Lorenzo's work like never before. I wish now I had made more effort when it was still possible to try and locate the site of the so-called Ubar. After my initial failed attempt to find the site, I dismissed it as both hopeless and useless. Better to focus my energy on the immediate problems. But now, after going over Lorenzo's papers more thoroughly, I believe there are enough clues to the general location that a large-scale search using artifact? Or no, using aircraft. I got the word artifact in my brain now. Using aircraft might have been feasible. Something that wasn't possible in my first attempt, of course. Maybe I could have found some other artifacts that I could have studied more directly, even if they were for completely different purposes. It would have been invaluable in understanding how the ancient technology functioned. I've also come to realize how brilliant Lorenzo actually was. I was far too quick to dismiss his theories. The arrogance of youth. I'm now convinced that his essential premise is correct. The artifact he found was not made by humans. All the evidence was there, but Lorenzo was the only one who put it all together and actually understood what it meant. A staggering thing to think of. If only he had been capable of dealing with the fools a bit more diplomatically, he might have gained more general acceptance of his theories and not been driven to such secrecy in his final expeditions. We have finally read every terminal in this place. I think. I think I've read every terminal in this place. So I'll do it in the pass-through here just to make sure. This is empty. I have to go to County Crossing. I have to drop all this crap off. Hey, babe, mind if I just pop in there with you? Baby, no, I'm kidding. She could be like my grandma, like 8 times over. Ugh. Well, I mean, like not actually, but I'm talking like age. But you get the point. You get the point. We've read this one. We've read that one. We've read the journal in here. There was no terminal. I think we've pretty much hit up everything. All right. Let's finally leave and go drop the stuff off. It was definitely interesting though. Oh, I missed the clipboard and the coffee cup. Where'd it go? There it is. Any terminals on these things? No. Okay. But yeah, it was definitely interesting to get like this backstory of these people, because there was a lot there, and I'm surprised they as in Bethesda and the developers really put as much into it. Oh yeah, that's right. This bathroom's a thing. That they put as much into it as they did. There's a lot of text and a lot of like story that went into this. It's kind of cool. Hey, do you want to carry something real quick? I kind of just want to wait. Take the microscope. That'll work.
Hey, see if there's anything there.
Get it. Get it. Good job. Hey.
Hey, grab that.
A good man needs a good rack in his life. You get that rack, boy. Yeah. Anything in the pockets? Nope. Right. I like rack. I like a good rack in my life. Anyway, let's pop that quick save. Let's get out of here. And I'm gonna just go and stretch, because holy hell, I've been reading for the last hour. I don't read this much in real life. I don't read this much for pleasure. I don't like read an actual book or anything. I just like plow through game dialogue. It's great. I always find myself having less of a difficult time reading things that are interesting and relevant than when I'm reading something stupid and dry and stale, like dumb material that you're forced to read in school and things. I don't know. It's kind of cool reading that story. a story has to intrigue me, you know, for me to read it. Ugh, I hate when you have like no interest in what you're reading or what you're learning. No, thank you. All right, so the plan right now is go to County Crossing, clear out Hancock's inventory, my inventory. I might want to check my power armor just to see how it's doing in durability, but I think we're good. And get him out of that frame. But now that I think about it, okay, hold on. At County Crossing, there are like 3 power armor frames. Hangman's Alley has a few. Grey Garden has quite a few. I might check on the map to see as we go north if there's another settlement that it makes sense to leave his frame there. You know, just gotta get rid of it. Yeah, there's no point in putting him in every place. Like there's no point in putting them all in one settlement. My eventual goal will be to kind of have power armor.
Looks like it opted out of the war entirely.
Let's go.
Oh, I didn't expect you to like actually follow me.
Under no circumstances can we allow Lorenzo to be freed from Parsons. I would have lost my father forever. I refuse to let that happen after spending so long trying to cure him.
I didn't expect you to actually be walking me there, you know? I expected you just to teleport like they always do. But, yeah, I have to put my frame at a different place. Doesn't make sense to not do that.
Excuse me.
We need to get to Parsons. Just follow me.
Follow me, you
It's the
little
artifact
bastard.
that's made Lorenzo so dangerous. I'm sure his psychosis would be cured if it could be removed. But so far, all my attempts have failed. It's fused too tightly with his nervous system.
You said it wasn't physically attached. Just take it and throw it. Make him suffer. He'll be fine. He's got the antibodies to cure everything, remember? He'll be okay. He'll be okay. Bunker Hill, I mean, I could sell some things, but I don't really know what I want to do with this dude. Interesting choice of pathfinding. I would have gone a different way than this. I would not have figured they would have path him this way. Oh, it seems a little bit...
I'm well aware
weird.
of the apparent conflict of interest in my father being the source of the treatment that is prolonging my own life. But I assure you that if I had the chance, I would gladly give it all up to have my father back, even for a short time.
I'm just gonna let Jack talk for days. However, guys, it is time to wrap the episode up here. We'll have to continue to walk Miss Daisy, or drive Miss Daisy. I guess this is more walking Miss Daisy. Oh, that's the lookout I'm saying. We'll keep driving Miss Daisy. You're gonna stop running? I suspect you will. I kind of figured you'd stop. But we'll continue to drive Miss Daisy next episode. Oh, I see people over there. In fact, I'm going to pause it so we can deal with them next time. But yeah, we'll keep walking Miss Daisy up north to Parsons. I still want to make a pit stop at County Crossing, most definitely, considering what's going on. But yeah, get rid of some stuff. Here's their settlement. I mean, there's Taffington. That's got a thing. Greentop Nursery is not my settlement yet, I think. Or is it Breakheart Banks? I think like one of these, or maybe even both of those, aren't settlements that I can use yet. Because you see how this one tells me I have like people and happiness? I know this log's not. Linwoods, no. There's the lighthouse way over there. I might park it at Finch Farm, but I'm pretty sure there's a frame there. But there's nowhere as many as there are in County Crossing. We'll see. It depends what this dude's gonna do. Like, I don't want him to run off and do something stupid. I think he'll just teleport there if we let him go. Because, you know how Fallout AI works. But anyway, guys, again, it's time to wrap it up here. Episode 445. Finally, we're done reading. Finally, we're going on with this quest, so that'll be fun. Go kill some shit, kill some raiders, and have a good old time. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.